Good morning. I just want to welcome everyone to Mentorship Monday. And I also want to thank all of you who have been a part of these Mondays in being able to provide leadership and mentorship to those in the construction workforce so that we can lean on the experience of others in order to be able to accelerate our progress. So, my name is Cory Fisk, and I am the founder and creator of Construction Management Online. And we develop educational curriculum in construction that is designed and meant for those in the construction industry in order to be able to promote their career opportunities in the position of a construction manager. So I've loved holding these Mondays, but I am going to be switching this platform over into the Audibles, and I'm going to be starting that relatively soon. But we're going to go back to our Tuesday tailgate talks where we're able to really interact and have some more audience participation. This current platform doesn't really allow me to be able to talk with other individuals in the construction industry, and I really miss that. And so being able to open this up to a different platform is going to be really exciting. So I hope that you will all follow our newsletter in order to find out when those Tuesday tailgates are going to start back up. So let's go ahead and start with our first question for today. So, what is your approach to submitting successful? What is your approach to submitting successful bids, and how do you estimate labor costs and pricing on the spot? Well, this is the part of construction that we've talked about that's so incredibly difficult for some people in entry level or coming into the construction industry. We can be a construction manager and have significant management and administrative experience that is not specifically related to the construction process. And so sometimes we're put into this position thinking that we need to know everything there is to know about construction in order to be able to manage or facilitate information for construction projects. Now, when it comes to estimating and when it comes to scheduling, these two areas are where the construction experience really is going to pay off and is going to be necessary, because we're not just quantifying numbers of quantities and calculations of pre-known unit prices of the different components that we're putting together, but we're also having to anticipate and kind of assume things in order to be able to put cost to it that gives us an overall budget for the particular item that we're putting an estimate to or that we're bidding. So if we were to walk out onto a job site and confer with the contractor and determine that there was a potential change order or issue that was now needing to be addressed, we could see the scope of work and the deliverable that is necessary to complete, and then be able to apply a cost to it with an expected understanding of the means and methods that the contractor plans on using in order to be able to determine what material might be needed, what type of equipment might be needed, what skill set in the labor force is needed, and how long of a duration would that all be taking place. And that would be able to help us in that moment be able to design a budget cost. This obviously is not something that we're going to put an accurate dead number to, that we're going to want to go write a beautiful contract and commit our firstborn to, but it's going to give us a well-rounded understanding of what the budgeted amount can be until we can go back and really assess, why did this issue happen? What was the cause of it? What was the original foundational scope that was originally expected? And now what is the potential cost and time associated with this change? And so that's how we're going to address it. Again, having that experience is the only thing that's going to allow you to be able to do that right on the spot. So if you don't have that kind of experience, it's not the place to try to pretend that you do. This is something, again, where you would lean on the contractor in the moment who is supposed to be the expert, who's creating and building what it is that you're responding to, and ask them, well, if it can't be done the way that the drawings or contract says it needs to be done, how did you propose to do it when you committed to creating this deliverable? And then at least be able to get their input on what they think needs to happen in moving forward, and then be able to go back to the site trailer, do your research, talk with the architect, be able to talk with the owner, get all of the input from your team necessary, and be able to establish a more accurate, solid cost that you could then move forward with that change order. So that's how you would do it on the spot, is making sure that you have lots of experience. Experience, again, can be borrowed. So I'm not saying that everybody needs to go grab a YouTube channel and start, videoing everything that needs to happen. But this is a great place to be able to research and at least see the order of precedence that work is going to be done in. There's a lot of qualified, great people out there that are producing free information that's going to allow you to be able to accelerate your construction awareness of what happens on a construction site and be able to bring more of that experience around you. So that's what I would say to being able to produce estimates or bidding on the spot. So our next question is, how do we find the energy to keep moving forward, especially in challenging times? Well, this is something that has come up here recently. I think that a lot of people felt that the results of the political engagement that we had over our presidency threw them off. And so there was a lot of energy that was being drained on probably things that really don't have a lot of impact in the very close future. I think that sometimes we have a tendency to grow a little bit more concerned about things outside of our control instead of focusing what really is right there in front of us. I would say that when I see things that are overwhelming or things that I just completely feel like they're out of my control, I try to bring myself back to this particular day. And, we've all had those struggles. Again, whether it's a relationship going through divorce, or whether it's losing your home, or whether it's not having a home, or whether it's having to raise two young children on your own. All of these challenges have a tendency to feel very overwhelming in certain moments. And where I really like to go with this, and it might seem a little woo-woo to some of you, but it makes a lot of sense to me. But anytime that I just can't really grasp how I'm going to get out of this situation, sometimes slowing way down and going out into nature and feeling just the connectiveness to how absolutely amazing this world is, how absolutely amazing it is that just the creation of a tree from a seedling to now this 150-foot umbrella over the forest has been created. And in that moment, just really recognizing that what happens tomorrow doesn't matter, because I might not even be here. And so just focusing on what I can do today and what is in my power today, and knowing that no one has control over the way that I love anyone or anything. No one has any control over how I produce certain emotions in my life, whether it's joy or whether it's frustration, fear, or anger. Being able to understand that really personal accountability is going to be the foundation for me to start in recognizing that I'm in control of my own energy. And, I'm not saying this from a place of not ever experiencing pain. Okay. Now, the one thing that I personally do, and it's not fair to all of those who have it worse than me, but I appreciate and I recognize that as bad as my day is, at least I'm alive because there's other people who are not. And so recognizing that there's always someone in the world that has it worse than you, and yet they're picking themselves up and they're doing what they need to do on a daily basis in order to survive is going to give you the understanding, hope, and confidence that you also can do it and that you're going to be able to move forward from this moment. So, nature is the easiest way to be able to feel that energy and be able to replace your bad energy with the good flow of clean energy around you in that environment. It's guys that are out there going, oh my God, when is she going to start lighting the sage? Okay, I don't do that. But I know that when you guys go hunting, or even when I go hunting, that is a connection with nature that allows you to be able to feel really free in that moment. And so it's not really the hunting that's doing it for you. It is the experience and what you make of it. And so just recognizing that we only really have today. So don't worry about tomorrow's problems until tomorrow. Okay. So, who are the key people I need to align with in this organization to succeed? So, I'm going to assume that the organization that we're talking about is the company that you're working for. So, that company could be Caltrans, it could be PG&E, or it could be a Turner Construction, or any other construction company that we're going to see as the organization. And so the smaller the organization, the closer you're going to be able to align with individuals who have power over that organization, which is going to be an incredible opportunity for learning and having insight on what that person had to do in order to be able to achieve their particular status within that organization. Sometimes larger organizations are a little bit harder to really identify the rungs in the ladder that are going to be able to take you from the bottom to the top. But it's going to be something that you can easily ask anyone in the office, and you're going to be able to establish what that destination map might look like for yourself. And so one of the things that I do like to do is to be able to align myself with people who are going to help my success. And so finding a mentor who's in a position that is similar to one that I envision myself in, or one that I think or want to be in at some time in the future, is going to be an important first step. But then I'm also going to want to align myself with individuals who have experience in fields and areas that may not necessarily be exactly what I want, but are going to be able to contribute to the growth of the well-roundedness of who I want to be or what I want to do. So this is why, as a construction manager, I always did find myself drawn to estimators and to schedulers. And it's really kind of been a challenging thing for me, particularly with estimators, right? Because they're usually very analytical, very black and white, and very organized and structured in their thinking. So sometimes side conversations can be a little bit uncomfortable or frustrating for them because they are focused on wanting to get back to work and get back to what they're doing. But if you're able to explain to them why it is that you're asking these questions, instead of just asking questions without any kind of context, they may think that you're questioning their work instead of asking questions of how they're doing their work. Because once you let someone understand that you're really wanting to know how they're doing their work because it interests you and you would like to know the story of it, then all of a sudden they open up like just I don't know, can of sardines. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but they just completely open up to you and start explaining all of the experiences that they had in their life and why they did this and why when they did that, they found out it didn't work. And so they went and they tried this and found that it worked every time, and being able to explain that. And then all of a sudden that black and white shell of analytical thinking kind of falls down and breaks down a little bit to where they're able to really explain and educate on how and why they got to the numbers that they got to. I also like talking with the schedulers because it is a way to be able to kind of vividly envision the progress of a project by understanding how to read the timeline. And this timeline is really important, and really important for the scheduler who hopefully has already been in contact with the superintendent to have real clarity in the means and methods of what this project is going to require in order to be able to create that story and progress anticipated for this particular project. And so if I can see vividly what it is that the scheduler was thinking of as they were creating this schedule, then it helps me be able to see the scope of work and how my project needs to run and how I need to administer and manage that vision in order to be able to allow it to be as productive and effectively efficient as possible. And so in this sense, I will still stay very focused on construction management and really finding mentorship from someone who's in that position that I want to be in, but then also identifying contributors who are going to help me be more well-rounded in my delivery as a construction manager, knowing that I'm a generalist and it's important to be maybe not a master of one, but good at everything. And so just always being open to understanding how the diversity of individuals in construction can contribute their skill sets together to create the most successful project possible. So I want to thank everybody again for these Monday mentorships. We are getting ready for the last cohort of 2024 to release. We're going to be starting this course November 25th will be our first live lecture. We have students that are already receiving their preparatory for this week and getting ready with all of the resources necessary to really get them started on the right foot. But we still have 2 openings left if you're wanting to go into Construction Management Essentials program and certification. Then I also wanted to just remind everybody that we have the Skill Builder membership, which is specific step-by-step instruction to be able to help those that are wanting to understand deeper how to be the best construction manager possible, and being able to have these step-by-step instructions to help through things like creating a schedule of values or a submittal, or being able to create an estimate. And then I just wanted to remind everybody about the YouTube channel where all of these videos are stored for you for free, for you to be able to check in and continue with your own personal growth. Tuesdays at 8 a.m., we're going to start our tailgate talks back up. These are the audios that allow us on LinkedIn to be able to converse with the audience. So have your questions ready. I'm super excited to be able to be engaging with all of you again and to keep up with all of the latest that goes on with construction management online. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We have some exciting things coming up for 2025 and really excited to be able to share those with you. So thank you again from Monday Mentorship. Have an absolutely beautiful week.